Fishing is good for the soul. Anglers all have memories made by the bank that we cherish, whether that's catching a PB or being stood in the river watching a breathtaking sunrise. But when you look behind the scenes, there is much more to fishing than first meets the eye.
Hello, my name is Dave Levy. I've been a carp angler for over 40 years, and in that time I've fished many of the well-known waters throughout the UK. There's venues up and down the country that are doing great things to get people into angling, but what you probably don't know is that a lot of them are under threat.
When we think of threats to angling, top of most people's list would be pollution or predation, or maybe having our access to fishing blocked. But one of the most dangerous threats disguises itself as part of the environment that we cherish.
Today I'm here with the Angling Trust and I'm going to be visiting 2 different venues to see how they combat invasive non-native species.
Invasive non-native species can include plants or aquatic life that have been introduced into the country through various means and can have a detrimental impact on native species.
I'm going to reel my rods in now, and then we're going to go over to the Yateley complex to see what Farnham Angling Society are doing to protect their stock.
Trevor, the site manager at Farnham Angling Society, has been working tirelessly to prevent the increasing spread of invasive plants on their sites.
We often think about animals and things like that, but it's the invasive plants that really are your problem.
Yeah, so the plants themselves can cause damage by, like with Himalayan balsam, it shades out all the native species. So obviously then when it dies back in the winter, the banks are completely bare, which then in the winter time, when you've got lots of wind on the venue, can create erosions.
This is the first time I've come across Himalayan balsam. Does it grow rapidly?
Oh, it's absolutely rapid. As the plant grows, it shades everything out. You get a lovely purple flower and everyone goes, oh, isn't it beautiful? But on those flowers, you've got seed pods. And at the end of the season, they fire seed pods everywhere. And the following year, it's just taking over. And this keeps getting more and more each year. So we do need to combat it now before we've got nothing left of any native species at all.
So how can angling, clubs, societies and similar deal with these problems that can often be expensive? That's where the Angling Trust comes in. In partnership with the Environment Agency, we hand out over £200,000 a year through the Angling Improvement Fund. But where does that money come from? Andy Petch, the Angling Improvement Fund manager, explains.
The money is provided by the Environment Agency direct from rod licence income, and at the Angling Trust we administer that on their behalf. I spend a lot of my free time fishing, and one of the common conversations that comes up with other anglers is about where does rod licence money go. Often they'll refer to the fact that they haven't seen an Environment Agency officer come around and check their licence, but that's not the only job of an Environment Agency officer, and it's not the only place where your rod licence income goes. The Angling Improvement Fund is a really good example of where that is invested, where it goes directly back into clubs and fisheries to protect the fisheries for the future.
How easy was the process to actually apply for the grant?
Not too bad. We spoke to a few people in the Angling Trust. They told us what we need to fill out, how we go about it. Obviously match fund it, so whatever we get from them, we have to put the same in ourselves. And then once the money was received, and we then managed to go off and get some equipment and get some training sorted out.
So are you actually qualified?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So a few of us went off to get special training on spraying invasive weeds and anything else it needs, and spraying on water, so we can now deal with any of that's there.
Preventing invasive species from entering the site is a crucial part of making your fishery more biosecure. Additionally, the Angling Improvement Fund has been used to purchase equipment that helps fisheries prevent the spread of fish diseases such as KHV, which can be devastating to fish stocks.
Oh, well, this looks great in here, Mark. So this is where it's all stored then, Mark, and I can see this is really well kept, and that your bailiff definitely suffers with OCD. But I can see you've got carp care there, and this is the mats. What comes within them?
Yeah, you're right about the OCD. That would be Rick, one of the old Yateley legends. So we'll just pull one off the peg and we'll show you what's inside it. So basically, they would carry this off as it is round to their swim. Got a nice big deep unhooking mat. You've got a sling with it, and also you've got the landing net, and you pick up a fish care kit there that goes with it as well. And off you go.
Well, it's great to see our rod licence money is being used to protect our fish stocks, and it's all going to a good cause.
No, it is greatly appreciated because it's something that's overlooked, and at the end of the day, it's very, very important to be biosecure for any fishery.
So the AIF can be used in a variety of ways to protect your fishery. But who's eligible to apply for a grant?
So it's available to any fishery in England that requires a non-migratory trout and coarse fishing licence. To apply, it's a case of logging onto the Angling Trust website and then clicking on the section that says Fisheries Support. Once you're in there, you'll find a range of different tabs, one of which is funding. So if you click on funding, you'll find all the different funds available listed in different tiles. So in this instance, it would be biosecurity and invasive non-native species. Click into that, and my number one piece of advice would be read the guidance note in full. We have 4 fishery support officers available, so anyone that's looking for funding, a good point of contact to start with is to speak to one of them. Their contact details are available on the Angling Trust website.
Do you know what? I started this day out probably with the same questions you had. When I buy a rod licence, where does that money go? What is it spent on? Is it wasted? And after spending the day with these guys, I realised that it's going to save clubs, it's going to save our fishing. So with help from organisations like the Angling Trust, it secures the future on the fishing that we have.